is Sven covering today. Excellent question. I am going to be talking a little bit about something other than Waterdeep. Um, that is actually from a campaign I am in with Drake Takes, and he is running a homebrew campaign where the world has been taken over by undead, except for the city of Waterdeep. Um, and I play a bugbear uh, who has been kept for 15 years in a basement, uh, and along with the other members of the party, who is a dwarf, a Yuan-ti, a lizard folk who looks like a gecko, and a half elf. Um, we've all been kept and experimented on, uh, and now all of a sudden we're starting to venture forth. That is the storyline. If you're curious about that, you can come back here on Tuesday nights, and then you'll see I host Drake Takes. You can just follow the link over to Drake, or just go to draketakes.com, twitch.tv/Drake Takes, all together one word. Check him out. Um, fun times, fun times. Anyway, but now I'm back to my proper background, my ideas background, my brainstorm board, if you will. And hopefully, sound is working on the stream. I'm trying to load Fantasy Grounds. Um, so I haven't pulled up the stream myself. Let's throw a little quote for today. So I never did answer the question. It would help if you typed it correctly. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So now that my Fantasy Grounds has loaded, let's go ahead and take a look at the stream and make sure that I can be heard. Testing, testing. Or like one of my friends says, I'm a mom, I'm a mom. That's okay. The stream is pulling up. Here's the stream. Ooh, can I be heard? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to be doing my monthly campaign. I have a weekly campaign. Come here, check it out every Wednesday night. And to keep things a little spicy and a little interesting, we decided to do once a month, every second Wednesday, we play a different campaign. Same people, just different campaign. And so that's what this is. Pulling up the calendar and the message of the day to figure out where we are and what we're doing. So the last one we did, yep, was this cool little mini adventure in within adventure within an adventure. Nice. All right, so now we need to see what they're going to be doing today. Let's see if I have anything in the books, in the works already. Boom. Okay. Ah, yes. Okay. Lava swell is what I'm going to be doing for today. So this is a nice little setup. If we go back, probably this is session 62 of this uh, prepping with D&D, for D&D stuff. If we go back to about 56, 55, you'll see I worked with a map, and so I built this map I used this map, and then what I did was I added these features to it, and then I added a lava. So I've got these, the floor is lava. Um, okay, so if it's supposed to be shown, why isn't it showing? That's weird. Let me see. Ah, that's why. Okay. Freaked me out there. So yeah, we're gonna put the so start off with. Okay, good. So we start with this one. Lava comes up. Throw on the oops. Come on. So as they come in, they're gonna be chased by this lava. If you look at the line of sight, if you look at the player, well, there's no player, no tokens in here, but this as it comes running up, if we look at the line here, we'll do it this way. See the line of sight, so it'll only follow. They won't see all this extra stuff on the edge. Um, anyway, so they're coming running up, and there's the effect as it's all wavy and wiggly, and then as they move up, the second layer of lava moves up, starts flowing. Um, and then it's going to force them to then run into here. And there are creatures in here that they're fighting. The lava is going to stop where it is, right here, because this rises up and is an incline. I am going to change the grid a little dark for me. So bring this down. So I went through all that really fast because I'd covered it in my other video. If you have questions, put them in the comments. If you want to, I can link it. You guys can find out where it is officially. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm using, first of all, for the grid, if we go to, you got to make sure this is unlocked first on your image as a DM, and then go over to right here where it says grid, this picture of a grid, click on tint, and then you can change the color of the grid. Stop it. Change the color of the grid to any color you want, and then you can also, this is the opacity, how bright it is, and you can turn it all the way down to where you can't see anything, or you can do like that. So it really just depends on what works for you and what you want in your characters, how bright you want it to be. You can change the color as well, which I did. Teal is not the standard color. Anyway, so we are ready to go with this. We'll put this to turn them all off. I do not have a link to my encounter, so we're going to throw the link on here. I've got 3 giant octopus creatures that we're going to be fighting. Don't think there's an image. I'll double check. So when you have the encounter, you can click right here on the symbol and it will open up the creature. If there's a image for them that's linked, you can click on this other. There is, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'll go ahead and share that, put that link that as well. Um, okay. Um, DC 10, not that hard. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one more randomness thing. So in this campaign I'm doing, there are lots of possible random things that could happen as they travel through. Um, I just gave them a big magic item, so I don't, I'm not worried about them finding treasure or doing anything like that. I think I'm just going to keep it random. So let's go ahead and see if we can find. Do I want to go to tables? I can look in tables and find the table I'm looking for, or I can go to the story and find it within the story. So I think I'm going to try the story. Um, I had the book itself, which would give me the name of the table, so that might be a faster way of doing it. There's a couple different ways. If I was wise, I would link it down below. Now, I'm going to do that right now. I might have already done that. Let's see. Take a look at my. Here it is, random encounters. See, I was wise. All right, so I put a link down here in my hotkey. If you're not familiar with the hotkeys, I've talked about it many times before. You get 12, hold Shift, another 12, hold Alt, another 12, hold Control, another 12, Shift Alt, another, Control Alt, another, Shift Control Alt, all three at the same time, another. So you have tons and tons of, more than 100 um, of hotkeys down here. And anything that has any of these symbols, now depending on the theme you're using, it could be a shield, it could be, in this case, it's a dot, it's a dragon head in the original Dragon D&D theme. You just grab that, pull it down. We're talking encounters, parcels, tables, um, things like that. It can all be pulled down here. Character art, maps, etc. I do a lot. I use them quite a bit as a DM and as a player. Uh, all right, so each day of travel, we check twice to see if the characters encounter anything unusual. So they finished a long rest at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I did not put in the rest of the details. Let's see. Um, let me go back to my message of the day. I don't need this map right now. So let's go back to map of the day. So right now they're in the Underdark. They were captured as prisoners, so they don't have no idea what time it is or what day it is. That's why normally I maintain the calendar for the players as much as me. Um, but in this case, all right, so after fleeing, yes, after a long rest. Okay, so we will go here. So I'm going to say, ooh, somebody made a noise. Atomic, welcome, welcome. So Atomic, I know you're always around. Um, just giving you a heads up, I did make some changes. So there's a streamer I watch who has sound triggers, and I finally figured out how to do them myself. So spread the word. Anybody who spends money, so subscription, gift subscription, cheer, or follow, although follow doesn't spend money, um, will trigger a sound, in theory at least. And the thing is, the sounds I picked are all jump scares. Because apparently people like being mean to other people. So if you want to see me jump, if you want to see me react to stuff, that is the easy way to do it. A new alert hype, exactly. And of course, we still have all the sounds that aren't used very much. There's besides the ones that are here when you click the. Let me pull this over. So there's the sounds that are here when you go to spend zone particles. These sounds, but there's also more if you go scroll up. I don't know about the phone, but on your PC, where you're watching the video, if you scroll the whole screen up, down below where I have like my schedule and stuff like that, there are also like 3 sounds that aren't on that list, um, aren't on this list. So if you're bored and want to mess with the sounds, you can use just spin zone particles. I tweaked a couple of the costs for the sounds, made them a little bit more expensive, but anyway, thank you, Atomic. I appreciate you being here. Do a little Atomic love. There we go. Check him out. I've talked about him many times before because he's awesome. Lots of fun to watch. Lots of fun. Varied. I love variety. And there are some streamers out there who only do one thing. And um, Atomic Hero Squad is not one of those streamers. So check him out every morning. He's a lot of fun. Monday through Friday. And that's Atomic_Hero Squad. All right, so we're looking to see when they did some of these events. So they woke up and then they went in and found a sword in an underground cavern. And so we're going to say it's a 1d4 hours. So 1 hour, and then we're going to do a 60. So to roll a 60 sider, you do /DIE space. I'm actually going to do it 50. I'm going to do 50. No, I'll do 60. So it's 1D and then any number you want. In this case, 60, and then you can also have pluses or minuses. So if you like for magic items that are between 50 and 500, it's very simple. You just do /DIE space 1D 450 plus 50. And in this case, you end up with 380. So it's very convenient. You can also do multiple dice if you want to do /DIE 5D. You can also change the color right here and have it be different colors. But I've covered those in other streams. If you want me to go over it again, leave a comment. I'll be glad to do that. So the reason I did the 27 was to find out what time. So it's an hour. They got up at 3 in the morning. And so at 03:27, 4:27, an hour later, oh, no, this is my mistake. This was part of where they were sleeping. That's right. So they didn't travel at all. So they found the guy here. They woke up after a long rest, and then they came in up through this hallway into this room. So they still haven't left. Never mind. They finished the long rest. Find and abandon. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste what I have up here. Find an abandoned tomb. A sword called out to them, and after killing some specters and a wraith, Lycus is gifted with Dawnbringer. I think I spelled his name wrong. So it has been 40 minutes. So it's going to be about 3:50, about 10 minutes later, unless they take a long rest. They back out into the tunnels. They head back out into tunnels. Now you'll notice on the calendar here, the player version is blank. It's the GM that I'm filling all this information out. And again, that's because they don't know what day it is. If the player goes into the calendar, they see the 18th highlighted, and then they see the And if they go, and the 18th has always been highlighted because that's when they started. Okay, why am I missing all my notes? Oh, okay, because they got captured and then they get moved. What is the 10? Is it blank? Okay, curious. All right, what happened on what? Oh, that's spring equinox and Lycus' birthday. Okay, I did spell Lycus wrong. All right, Lycus. Anyway, so they've started. This has been going on for this long. This is a 10-day week, so it's been 13 days since they started this campaign. All right, so my point is, so now we go ahead and see what's going on. So I'm going to keep the rolls I just did actually. So if they leave at 3:50, an hour later is 4:50. Add 27 minutes to that. That means at 5:17 is when they will have this next encounter. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and move this. Control X, delete, oops, enter. So you see there's a links here. You want to be careful when you're messing with links in your anytime in Fantasy Grounds that you see the links. Whether it could be a story entry, it could be like, or a calendar entry like this, a note, message of the day, stuff like that, because you may end up deleting them. It's not the end of the world. You just hit Control Z and it comes back. But the way to stop, if I were to go here and hit enter, you would keep this, but it would move all the text down, and we don't want to do that. So let's go ahead. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick while I'm thinking about it is I realize that even on a PC, you guys can't see what the heck is going on. So I'm going to pull up my chat bar and go /scale UI 120. So it makes the text a lot bigger, but you'll notice I've now lost a ton of real estate on my screen. So for now, until I go change to mapping or whatever, we'll keep it this way, but you can now see a little bit of what the text is if you're using your PC to watch this. I do actually want to check and see, let me get rid of my story template. Do I have anything for the next day? The 8th, I do not. Okay. All right, so I'm sort of flying by the seat of my pants. I usually try to be a little bit more prepared than this, but I'll just be honest, I've been into Skyrim a lot. Skyrim has been taking up a ton of my time. So, time I should have spent prepping for my dungeons. Okay, so anyway, my point is, so here I'm going to go to the end of this line, hit enter, give myself some more room to type. Now I go back to this one. You can highlight it, or in this case, as long as you're in the same paragraph, you can alter the look of the text. We go right click, paragraph, type, table, link, list, chat frame. So if I wanted it to show up over here in the chat, a heading or regular text. Right now it's regular text. We want it to be a heading. You'll notice that there were 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around in the pie wheel or in the clock face, the interface, whatever you want to call it. This thing, there were 6. You can also just go control and hit that number. So if I wanted this to be a regular text, control 1 is regular text, control 2, chat 3, chat bubble, stuff like that. So there we go. So we have our heading back on here. So we're going to leave, they leave at 0350. Oh, there we go. head back into the tunnels, and then at 5:17, earthquakes start. I'm going to say it's an acrobatics check or dex save. DC 12 to maintain footing. And then this happens twice. And on the second time, so I'm going to grab this part of it. As the party traverses a long and winding corridor, I am moving that up to here. Earthquakes start, or we'll just say an earthquake starts, and then a tremor opens up behind them, and lava starts happening. All right, so I'm going to say here, start this whole thing with it begins to get very hot. And then as you walk a winding corridor, so the point is there's lava around them and under them, and the heat is coming through the stone. Okay, so now backspace. Again, talking about these links, if I hit delete right now from where I am, right, or I'll show you the cursor, my cursor's here, it will delete the link, so we don't want to do that. So just do backspace, and that gets them there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so now we have see, I just did it, Control Z, backspace, or not, let's see, go here, there we go. Here, enter, it'll make another link. Control 1 puts it back as regular text. Give myself a little space. Okay, so now that they're done with this, then there's a giant rock. There's a giant octopus. Lava swell. So I don't have my image in here, which is silly. I have the the story entry, which is just a duplicate of that. So let's, oh, here it is. The image is right there. Okay, I do. So we open up the image. I'm going to put the link for the lava swell down here. So what you can do is I can then put this, just like it shows a trap. Anytime you have a trap or hazard, something like that, if you open up the combat tracker, it's going to be pretty big. You can then drop it into the combat tracker and you say Sven. Why would you do that? And I would say that's a good question, because this now allows me to drag the damage right onto the person. Um, So having this in the combat tracker allows same thing with a trap. So if there's like a deck save, so if there's a rune or a glyph of warding um, that explodes and you deck save for half, the you can by having it in the combat tracker, you can target two people, have them make the save, and then do the damage based on the half save, those who save. So that's why you would put, there are traps within the NPCs. Um, there are tons of them, especially if you, like me, have a lot of modules open and things. Um, trap, boom. So you can see the Dungeon Master's Guide has a bunch. The Xanathar's Guide to Everything has a bunch. The module I'm using has a bunch. Um, so lots of different ones that you can pull from um, if you're looking for traps. Boink. Okay. So now we've done this hazard, where they've done the long or the rest. I'm going to say they're done. So they've done several fights here within the little underground that they went to. Then they came up, they did the Rocktopus. Um, so I don't have an official written down system that I use, but I'm going to say you could travel with a lunch and a break every once in a while. Realistically, you could walk if you had to 12 hours before you just didn't want to walk anymore. Um, every time they do a major fight, I'm going to cut that back. So I'm going to say they're going to go for another 10 hours and then they're going to want to rest. So it has been, it's going to go to 1300. They stop to rest. 13 plus 10 is 23, so it's still the same day. Way I do long rest is at least 10 hours because you have 8 hours of rest, plus with people taking breaks having watch rather for 2 hours, you still have to have your, if you had only took 8-hour break and then you were on watch for 2 of those hours, that means you're only getting 6 hours of sleep. So I'm going to go with that, 10 hours, and I'm actually going to go a little bit longer because they're pretty wiped. So that's going to take them to midnight. So because midnight is a little tricky right at the change of the day and everything else, until 0010 the next day. So it tells me when they're done. Delete, get rid of some of this extra space. All right, so this is the 7th of Flame rule. Now we'll go to the 8th. So what I've got here is a skill check and 1 combat. Maybe an hour of play. I can stretch it out with their role play and other things like that. Might stretch it out a little bit. The point is, I need more than what we've got so far. So let's go back to our table. Here we go. So at 0010 the next day, they finish. A long rest and head out. So I typically, again, will add, do the 10-hour of sleep and then maybe an hour more of rest and stuff like that. So it's actually going to be, we'll say 1 o'clock in the morning, because they take about half an hour to wind down, set everything up, get their tents ready, all that thing, get the bed rolls, and then take about half an hour to wake up, eat, prepare breakfast. Half hour is actually a little bit uh, generous. It's probably going to take them longer than that, depending on the group, but we'll see. Anyway, so now they're starting at 1 in the morning the next day. And let's see. So here we'll roll twice for the day. 1, 2, 2 20s. Nice. All right, so lots of rolls, lots of stuff happening. I probably should have done it one at a time. I didn't expect, with the odds of it being 1 to 13 times 5 is 75. There's a 75% chance of nothing happening. I didn't expect to get 2 20s. All right, so the first one, let's see. So there's an encounter and a terrain and a creature. So terrain, a gorge, and a creature is fungi. Okay. All right, so let's go. First of all, we need a gorge. Cool. So I should have maps. So I've got all these windows open. So let's pull this down. So we're going to type this in. So again, I'm going to do the 1d4. So during the second hour, and we're going to do the 1d60 again. So if you press the up arrow on your keyboard, it'll whatever you typed in, it'll go back up there. So you can just hit up and keep typing in the same thing. In this case, I want a d60. And so 51. So what was the time I said? 2. So 2 hours. So at 3:51, they come upon a gorge and fungi. So let's say it takes half an hour to, actually they're going to be traveling, they're going to be 2d4 times 100 feet. So let's see what that is. Yoink. 200 feet. Uh, 200 feet. So we'll put here. And I'm actually going to say that I'm going to roll percentile twice. 1, 2. So it is first one is 99 foot deep gorge. And the other one, so 1, 2, 3. So what I'm doing is I'm having them go, they're going to travel for about an hour and then, or maybe 20 minutes, and then have them come up to the other side. And that is 65, 135, 136, 136 feet. Up the other side. All right, so let's see. You can have up to 180 degrees. So let's type in slash DIE space 1D 180. So 155 degrees. Or is it 90? Is it 90 degrees or 155? Let's find out. Okay. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Why does it say that? No, I just want to show the image. I just want to show. Alright, so it's very, very steep. So I think, no, I want a 90. Yeah, I want 90. So let's go back to here. Let's do slash DIE 1D90. 39. So it's a 39 degree angle. So as they're walking, it's very steep, like this. At a 40-degree slope. All right, so we've got the fungus in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and come back to this. We'll do fungi. I don't really have time to do everything yet, but I want to put the note in for what the other thing is. Let's see when the other thing happens. It happens an hour and 31 minutes later. So 4:51, 5:20. Actually, no. If this is for the traveling for 10 hours, it's still, I'm going to do it to 8. 5 hours later. Okay, so 8:50, 8:50. Second thing that happened is a cliff and ladder. So we're going to drop this in. Boink. And ambushers. Nice. Okay, so boink. We're going to roll on the ambusher table. 2. A chull lurking in the water. So here's that. And in the lair, they will find 1d6 50 gems. So we'll say, oh, it's right here. It made it for me. Nice. So we're going to throw this here. This is going to be the Chull underwater lair. They find 2 gems. Okay, boom. Dadgummit. So I didn't hit away from the square. There we go. So now let's go ahead and wipe this out. Now when I share it, it will say Chull underwater lair. Okay, delete. There we go. Close it, make sure it's right. There we go. All right, so now I have everything linked where I want it to be. So they're going to come up on fungi. So let's figure that out real quick. And I can flesh this all out, draw the map, find a map, whatever the case might be. here's the table. We're going to roll for fungus. They are violet fungi, which do what? They make rotting touch attacks. Okay. They do move. Okay, nice. So we do have a picture. That's not violet fungi. I wonder if I have a picture. Let's see. Go real quick to images. We'll just type in violet. There we go. See? Violet fungus. There we are. See? Boom. That's a terrible picture. That's also a terrible picture. Okay. So here's the first one. Give ourselves a little bit more room. Boom. Here's our map. Our image. Here is where the we're gonna get rid of this. Here it is. Generate. So this has what this is doing is it's going through all these different possible things you can find within a table. So this table, the result was 1d4, but that didn't generate an actual encounter, so this generates it. So there's 2 violet fungus. I'm going to make 4, just because I want it to be a little bit more of a challenge. If you refresh CR, um, this is not going to be a challenge at all. The 2 would be even more laughable, but there we go. All right, so there's the fungus that they're going to come upon. I might have it be on the long slope that they're climbing up. Who knows? We'll play it. I'll figure all that stuff out as I get there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we're set. We're ready to go. We've got 3 different things they have to deal with. For those of you who don't know what a chull is, it's basically a big crab with little tentacles, like a lobsterish. Actually, no, that's not the one I was thinking of. This is more of a lobster guy. So that's what a chull is. While I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and find the image so I can enter, not have to dig for it. It's a CR4, so this will actually be, they shouldn't have an issue with him either, because there's only one. And so just keep in mind as a DM, anytime you only have one NPC, then it's going to be a cakewalk for your group. There are rare occasions where you have, like lair actions and stuff like that, but still, when you can just have all of your party just pounding and doing spells or incapacitating or just blasting one creature, it makes it pretty easy um, for them. Simply adding 1 or 2 minions will change everything, and I'm probably going to do that with this guy. Probably have like maybe a kobold or worship sim or something like that. I like that idea of a couple kobolds. So let's do that. Let's see. Click. This is here. So we're going to add 2 more kobolds to this. NPCs. Kobold. All right. So I have all these different cool looking kobolds. I think we're just going to have sneaks. What CR are they? CR 1/2. Okay. So what they do is sneak attack. Okay. So I'll put 1 sneak and then 1 regular cobalt. What's the CR now? CR5. Okay. Just double check. Did they turn 5 yet? No, they're still 3. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this is good. I like it. Boom. All right, so we have our set. We're ready to go. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate you, Atomic. Don't forget you guys do have access to these Sven silliness here. We can either make it random depending on which one you pay for, or if you pay for a little bit more, you get to pick from this list of 20 things, including the double time, roll twice, that type of thing. So if you want to make me look and do weird stuff, that's what this is for, the Sven silliness. You can also make me talk differently, all that stuff. So come back by Sunday night. I'm doing some Starfinder action. I'm probably going to be streaming again this week because I need, like I said, I've been playing so much Skyrim, I need to catch up on my DM prep. So I'm probably going to be streaming again. But whatever else, so don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do that, then you will be, it'll tell you every time I stream. You can also catch them on the U's and the Tubes. All my stuff is right here. So tell your friends, email the link to your grandma, and whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.